So the other day, Palantir had their Q2 earnings, and they had a conference call going over all of it, and it was abysmal. Like, you could not do this any worse than how Palantir did it. It was a terrible, terrible earnings call. And all of the trolls, all of the clowns on YouTube that have been promoting this stock for the past 2 years, primarily Tom Nash, have completely lost their mind. And in my opinion, it's actually quite funny. So we're going to go over this. I'm going to go over why this is funny. And in this video, I'm actually going to give you some financial advice. I don't normally do that on this channel, but if you stay around to the end of the video, I will actually give some financial advice. So if you don't know, Palantir, this is their company right here. They're basically a software company that provides analytics to different large firms and governments. Primarily, their main source of income comes from the US government. They provide a lot of information to combat counterterrorism around the world, as well as during the COVID pandemic as well. Palantir helped the federal government do that. Basically, they provide a lot of data analytics. And for whatever reason, Tom Nash and a lot of guys have been promoting this stock for the past 2 years. So I went to Tom Nash's YouTube channel. This is the first video I can see that posted November 23rd of 2020. Now, it's possible he posted earlier. Tom Nash has deleted a bunch of his videos. But if you go back as of today, this is the oldest video I could find talking about Palantir in November 23rd. And he was very bullish on this company. And he got a bunch of views. He got 70,000 views. Back then, his channel was a lot smaller. 70,000 views was a lot of views for his channel. Now, how YouTube works, if you don't know, if a creator puts out a certain type of content and it does really well, other creators that are in that niche will see that and they'll jump on that bandwagon and start producing content on that as well. So Tom Nash, I think he was the first big YouTuber I saw talking about this. After that, you had Jeremey from Financial Education, you had Meet Kevin, you had Sasha, you had all these big stock channels that started putting out content about Palantir because that content, for whatever reason, people really liked it. I don't really know what it is. You can put out certain videos, maybe about Home Depot stock or whatever. People aren't interested, but you talk about this little software company, Palantir, people really like it, and it gets a lot of views. Now, if you don't know, Alex Karp is the CEO of Palantir Technologies. He's been there since the start, and he said some very interesting things in the conference call, which I'll explain the top 3 things that he said that were absolutely abysmal for this company. So basically, the first thing he said is they're not going to be a profitable company until at least 2025. And initially he said they were going to be much profitable much sooner. So basically, if you were putting money into this company, which, you know, guys like Tom Nash and Sasha have been promoting for the past 2 years, you're putting money into a company that is not currently making any money, and they hope that they'll make money, you know, sometime in 2025. Best case scenario. The second thing that the CEO said was that customers don't like us, but have nowhere else to go. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard a CEO say about their own company. The fact that he knows that a good majority of their customers that are actually paying them money don't actually like their company. They don't like Palantir, but Palantir has currently the best software regarding the needs that they have, so they keep going to them. That's not something you should be proud of. That's not something you should tell people over a conference call. That's something you should fix behind the scenes so that your customers actually like you. The customers actually want to give you money. They don't give you money because they have to and they have no other place to go out to. Now, the worst thing he actually said in the conference call, and this is truly mind-boggling, he basically said, I'm paraphrasing here, World War III is coming and it will be very good for Palantir. I don't know why you would ever admit that. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard any CEO of any company ever say in a conference call. Now, since this has come out, all of the big clowns that have been promoting this have been putting out videos. You know, you got Jeremey, his Palantir video. You got Sasha, his Palantir video. You got Tom Nash. Actually, his new one's right here, his Palantir video. All of these guys have been talking about the Palantir stock. And the point is, there's really no reason to watch any of these videos about these individual stocks, and I'll show you why. Okay, so here is why, and here is some actual financial information I'm going to give you in this video. This is the S&P 500. It's the index, right? Now, I put year to date. Year to date, the S&P 500 is down 14%. Obviously, that's disappointing. People want to put money in the market. They want to see it go up, but you know, we're in a recession, so the S&P 500 is down 14%. So if you had put your money in an index fund that was following the S&P 500, you'd be down 14% for the year. Let's take a look at Palantir stock. So Palantir stock is down 50% year to date. So if you had followed all of these guys' advice, Tom Nash, Sasha, Jeremey, if you had followed these guys and actually put money into Palantir, you'd be down 50% instead of down only 14%. So my advice to everyone that is watching, take your money, put it into an index fund that follows the S&P 500, and you save yourself probably hundreds of hours of years, 100 hours a year, watching these guys put out this content about these companies that no one needs to be involved in. You'll make more money just investing in the S&P 500, and all of the time wasted watching all of this content, you can put towards other things. Now, I honestly think, actually I know, most of these guys are smart enough to know this, to know that they're not going to beat the market the majority of time, and you should just put your money in the S&P 500. They know this, but you can't actually build a channel around that. Building a channel around, hey guys, put your money in the S&P 500. You can't make 100 videos around that. So they instead put these videos out about these specific stocks, when in reality they know their people watching, if they just didn't listen to them, they'd actually perform better. And meet Kevin. If you don't know, meet Kevin. He actually did a disastrous interview with Echoes from Above. And in that interview, he actually admitted that he knows he's not going to beat the market.
You have no interest in being in an index fund, fine. I get that. But that's what the average investor should do, and that's essentially what you should do. That's what everybody should do, for the most part. Because
that's not what I'm going to do, though.
Okay, but listen, but for the most part, even the professionals cannot beat the S&P 500. So
I don't care. I don't care if I lose, bro. Echoes, Stepsis, bro. I don't give a shit if I don't beat the market. I want to do what I want to do. That's me, man.
So there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. Meet Kevin admits he knows that he's not going to beat the market the majority of time, but he still pumps out these stock videos day after day, and he gets millions of views and millions of dollars in AdSense from people watching this basically irrelevant content. That's what it is, right? If you look at any of Meet Kevin's picks, they have underperformed the S&P 500 this entire year. So there's really no reason for these guys to even have channels at all. They're all clowns. They're all promoting these terrible companies. Palantir's own words, straight from the CEO. They're not going to be a profitable company for, another 3 years. They're basically rooting for World War III to happen, and they're saying that their customers don't actually like them, but they have nowhere else to go. I have no idea why anyone would be promoting this terrible, terrible company, but that's how it is. That's what these guys are doing. If you want to continue to watch their content, you can do that, or you can save yourself hundreds of hours a year, just invest in the S&P 500 and index fund, and set it and forget it, make money or lose less money in the case of a recession, and you don't have to worry about it at all. But leave your comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts on Palantir's, falling apart, and what you guys think about these guys who are promoting this stock for the past 2 years or so.